guys, and welcome back to our White Tigers Rising series here with the Truro City Football Club at the end of October in our first season in League One. And as you can tell, we're from the table over here. We are 18th, mostly lurking around on goal differential. We're 1 point above the relegation spots, 5 points behind the promotion playoffs, and things are just super tight. I think the good news is we are picking up points. We're a little bit better than a point a game. And we do have a game in hand around with some of the teams around us, and thankfully the teams in the relegation spots have played more than we have. So we have some opportunity to kind of stretch things out a little bit and kind of push on a little up the table. But nonetheless, it's been an incredibly tight month, and it continues to be. I think it'll continue to be for sort of the remainder of this particular season. So I don't think we're going to be comfortable at all in this particular season, and I think we're going to need to fight sort of every time out. Tactically, I'm trying a couple of different things. So partially the past bunch of games that I've played, and going into the new games that we're going to be playing. For some strange reason, Matthew Penny's developed the disciplinary problem, which is really obnoxious because it's forced us to use our backup, and unfortunately he's not all that great. I mean, he sort of does a serviceable job, but not super great. So I think strengthening our backup, maybe something to take a look at. And Penny, I don't know. I really just don't know why he's sort of broken down in this past month. But otherwise, tactically, what I'm trying out in the midfield to kind of couple with the ball-winning midfielder is the roaming playmaker. Now, I haven't ever really used one of these. I've been intrigued. I think it's a pretty versatile role. So we are utilizing, instead of an advanced or a deep line playmaker, the roaming playmaker. It has worked out pretty well from an average rating perspective, so I have to kind of let it bed in. I've only tried it for the last 2 games, so I can gather some more sort of statistical information on it to figure out if I'm happy with how it's been going or not going. And then the other piece of things is we have brought in a new striker. This is Callum Robinson. He was out there as a free agent, just sort of sitting there. I'm actually pretty pleased with him. He has a lot of experience at this level and higher in the Championship as well as League One. He's played in the under 20 Euros for England, but he hasn't been capped at a senior level. But I'm overall pretty pleased with him. I like a lot of the technical, mental, and physical stats that he's got. So I think we may try and we may put him into the rotation and see what we can get out of him in this one. So that's pretty much it for what's gone on, and I'll see you guys in the highlights. Okay, guys, so first game of the episode. Sorry about that. My brain just sort of stopped in the middle there. We played Coventry at home. Coventry are the top of the table squad. Despite sort of a wonky disciplinary record in this particular game, we played well. George Willis really kept us in this one. But I think we gave a good accounting of ourselves. We sort of gave as good as we got. It was a pretty end-to-end game. Pretty wide open. We put some shots on target. They put some shots on target. I think we controlled the ball, which was good, but we just couldn't do anything with it, which is sort of kicking on my sort of decisions on bringing another sort of striker in here now, starting to accumulate them like socks, unfortunately. But it wasn't. I think this is what solidified the move to start looking around amongst my scouted strikers and sort of pluck one out that eventually brought Callum in. But overall, not much to talk about. Zip, a good point for us at home. So it kept up our record of getting points. So that's it for this one, guys, and I'll see you in the next highlight. Okay, guys, so this one we went on the road to Blackpool, and, I'm impressed. We came away with 3 points, which which is what we needed, especially against a team that was, sort of down and around where we are. Um, they were all over us. It was a pretty even game. Overall, we didn't really dominate like we're used to dominating, but I thought we countered pretty effectively. We were dangerous, albeit unspectacular. And the one goal of the game was a Jack Dunn penalty in this one. So we pushed and pushed and pushed and just created an opportunity late in the game, and Jack was the one who was standing there to bury it in the back of the net. And that's what gave that was pretty much it that separated the two sides on that one. So that's it for this one, guys. I'll see you in the next episode. Okay, guys, so back here in the highlights. So this was the Johnson's Paint Trophy second round. We were at home against our nemesis club, Plymouth, and they beat us on a late one. This game really, really irritates the crap out of me. By all accounts, we were by far the better team on the field in this one. We were just better. We dominated the ball. We were pushing. We were shooting. I was playing with tempo to try and get something more on target, to get one in. We just couldn't put a lot on frame, but we dominated things. We had lots of dead ball opportunities. They were just fouling us and pushing us all over the place. And unfortunately, in the 89th minute, so we couldn't really figure out how to lose any later, they managed to get us in this one. So it was just a gut-wrencher. Just one of those, I don't know, it's just one of those really bad luck affairs. I thought we were at least going to go in, and get out of this one and go to penalties to get out of this one, and gutted. So, unfortunately, we have drawn and lost to Plymouth this season, and, well, the opportunities to go after them again are starting to fade slightly, but we will need to go and catch up and get some revenge when we play them at home. So that's it for this one, guys, and I'll see you in the next highlight. Okay, guys, so if Plymouth wasn't disappointing enough, we went away to Preston and lost 1-0, and Ben Holmes missed a penalty. I'm not really sure why he took the penalty. There was no good reason for him to take the penalty. He shouldn't have taken the penalty for some strange reason. He decided to take the penalty, and he missed said penalty. So we ended up not picking up a point out of this one, which was really disappointing because I thought we played well enough to earn a point on the on the day. Overall, pretty even, but I thought we played well enough to earn the point. So Rory died in the 59th minute, because if we're going to give up a goal, why not give one up from a corner? We're set up specifically to stop those near post flick-ons, and what does he do? Scores from a near post flick-on. So, disappointed and irritated at best in this one. So not much else to say on that one, and I'll see you guys in the feature game. Okay, guys, so this is the feature game of the month. We clashed against top of the table Birmingham, which was a huge clash for us. And I'd say impressively enough, we managed to pull a 2-2 draw out of this one, even at 10 men. So I think the squad played incredibly well, and there's a lot to say for what this team has once it starts to kind of gel together. Because if we can do this against a top table side, I think there's a lot to come from this particular squad. So let's jump in, take a look at the highlights from this particular game. So we were at home, which gives us some decent advantage. This isn't quite the fortress that it's been at times. Usually our first year in a league is a little rough. They played sort of a 5-2-3 type system. It varied a little bit. Nice shot from Holmes there. So I tried to tweak things up to to try and do a little more shorter passing, a little lower tempo, to try and um, to try and figure out how to break them down. They were clearly playing a counterattack. I started kind of looking and counting number of passes to get into the end. Nice free kick attempt from Grayson. And they were very clearly on a very direct counterattacking style. So we tried to do everything we could to counter it. I think we did an effective job, albeit unspectacular, through the whole thing here. So, no real gripes, I guess, at the end of this, at the end of the day on this one. Um, just a really nice cross there from Durley and catches Holmes at the far post. We haven't really been scoring quite as many of those as we had last season. But that's okay, not the end of the world. But I do love watching them go in. Yeah, just a really awful shot there. So over the top, but nothing useful out of it. They were shooting wide. I think we were controlling what was going on pretty well. I think I would say we owned the first half. But I think some of it had to have been that they were letting us go. So I finally come to a decision on the name for the end, our enclosed end here behind George Willis, and as a homage to where we started with the series and the club's traditional home, we're gonna call the big end there the Treyu end, which is for Treyu Road. Which is where the club started, and their current home now, and their original home from our first season in this save before we moved here to Brooklyn Park in Falmouth. So that would be the Treyu end behind George Willis there, screaming and yelling and cheering the boys on. If I gotta figure out how to get something in there to put it across the top and name it, but I will know what it is, and we'll mark that down in the video so we will all know what it is. From this day forward, it is the Treyu end. So good move again. Unfortunately, offsides. He's started to develop that penchant. We don't play super well against the offside trap. We tend to we tend to get caught up in it a lot, which certainly stunts Grayson just too deep with the free kick there. But it definitely stunts what we've got going on. Now, it was hard to tell from this one. Apparently, he threw an elbow and ended up getting straight red carded for violent conduct, which pissed me off to no end. And of course, on the ensuing free kick, he heads it right into the back of the net. Now we're drawn up at 1-1. So we tweaked the team around at this point, just sort of hoping to hold on. If we could figure out how to get out of here with the point that we had, that would be spectacular. I really wasn't in the mood to lose. Things get a little dicey in the box there, but we were able to break it out on that. But now, unfortunately, we're down. Not in a good place. Just trying to keep things slow and mistake-free. And unfortunately, a guy still periodically find opportunities. Darely got out. We did get a decent opportunity there. Unfortunately, he went near post and just couldn't do, just into the side netting there. So, a rather poor effort. Struggling to kind of clear the lines, which is not unexpected with 10 men. But, they rewarded us with an abysmal shot. So Holmes in there, and at this point we had Ross Watts. He's a youngster that we've brought in to see if we could develop him a little bit. Puts us up 2-1. I kind of went super defensive at this point. I was really excited that maybe we're going to win this one. Unfortunately, the fates had something else decided, and Birmingham manages to draw it right back pretty quickly. Good free kick, lousy effort on that one, which helps sort of solidify my decision that we need some help up front to give some some rotational options and kind of find a real pure goal scorer. I thought Furness was going to be that guy, but he doesn't seem to want to be that guy. So some great last minute defending there on that one. But so the game here is just about to end. Furness just through. Unfortunately, can't quite get there ahead. Disappointing, but to get out of here with a point against the top of the table side, I'm not going to argue with it, especially at 10 men. I think it showed great resolve. I would have wished he could have gotten his head up there on that one because that was another great opportunity. But the squad showed some really good resolve. So there you go, guys. That is Truro City 2, Birmingham 2, and I will see you guys in the wrap-up. Okay, so we're back here at our wrap-up here. So this particular month, we've got Swindon, who are up at the top, which is going to be a tough game. Peterborough, which is one we absolutely should be winning. Port Vale, I'd like to get a little revenge on them, so that's one I believe we should be winning. We will enter into the first round of the FA Cup, so we'll see what that gives us. Again, sort of a third, fourth round is where I'd like to be and try and use this to make some cash. And then we have relegation-threatened Crew as well. So this should be a decent month. I think there's 3 definitely winnable games in here. In terms of the league play, and we should get out of the first round of the FA Cup pretty solidly. So that's it for this one, guys. Remember, please leave a like on the video if you like. If you still like the video, the series. Lets me know you're still out there. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. You can get news of my videos and Paul's videos in your inbox every day. And if you haven't already checked it out, check out Paul's Creating a Legacy series. He's doing some awesome things in League One with FC United and Manchester as he's getting ready to put his plan together to try and make it to the championship. And we're here in League One, so I got my playlist. So check everything out, guys, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye now.